Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed the content in Module 1. I know there's a lot there. And again, we're at a fast pace. Summer semester, we're taking 16 weeks of content, we're compressing it into 9 weeks. And then we're really taking two great big content areas, strategic management and then marketing. We're combining it into one course. So there's a lot going on. So let's just keep up and keep moving and move on to our next week. But before we change and shift gears into Module 2, I just wanted to provide a quick summary of Module 1 and talk a little bit about the next steps for our next module, which is Module 2, and which our focus will be Chapters 2 and Chapter 3. But I want to remind you that this whole strategic management process is not just an academic exercise, and it really is not just a fad. It really is critical that all of us understand the importance as leaders in an organization. And if organizations are going to be successful, that you've got to make sure you have an understanding of strategic thinking, strategic planning, strategic momentum, and how they fit together and the nature of each one of those items. And remember that this strategic management process really provides a roadmap for every action and decision that an organization makes. And as they go through the planning process and identify their priorities and set their goals, that will help to direct even who you may think the least significant employee is within the organization to ensuring that every single person, regardless of their role, is focusing on the objectives of the organization, because people are the most important asset in the organization, regardless of what they do. And every single employee brings tremendous value. And you want to make sure that everyone's engaged in understanding what the strategic plan is, what the goals are for the organization. And so keep that focus in mind, and that the strategic planning and process and under the strategic management umbrella really is a tool that you can use to keep everyone informed and to have a plan to begin the journey. Again, that even our best plans don't always work out. Things change. And so leaders who are strategic, managers that are strategic, have to be ready to learn, to monitor, measure what's working, what's not, and then as the plan unfolds, how to quickly change and adjust your focus, the implementation of that focus, maybe even the goals that have been set. Maybe the strategy has to be changed completely. Because remember, all strategies are temporary. They're put in place to give the organization focus, to build the organizational momentum around the goals. And because of the social, economic, political, health policy impacts, strategies are never effective long term. They need to be modified. And so keep in mind that strategic management and leadership, in my view, are the same things, and that having a vision, orientation, and a future orientation are critical for leaders. And I'm confident that all of you will begin to think about these things, keeping in mind the comments that I made and that you've seen the reading around systems thinking and how important that is. Next module, again, as I said, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 will be our focus. We're going to be looking at the external analysis. That's part of strategic planning. We're also going to be looking at your service area competitive analysis. And why are those two things important? And so think about that. Why is what's happening in the external environment critical to an organization? And also, why is it important for an organization to understand what are their competitors doing in the areas that they are servicing? And so that will be important. We'll look at issues and changes that impact an organization, the importance of understanding the signals of emerging issues and trends, because from a health policy, technology, customer, economic perspective, things are always changing. And leaders embrace change, they manage change, they communicate about change, and they create environments that can manage through all of that complexity. Look forward to seeing you in the next month.